So, what does the phrase, "it's not a trying process," really mean? Now, when people say it's not a trying process, that gets extremely confused with active and passive actions for your business or social media. And what actually can get people to ignore their intuition and ignore these intuitive actions they're being given to do is they think, oh, well, this is what trying process means. So I'm not going to try in my business or try in social media. And that's what's going to get me to where I want to go. When I just want to say, nobody who is a millionaire woke up a millionaire and stayed a millionaire by doing nothing. And nobody who has anything that they have has got it by just waking up and having it. You're not going to become a 35-year-old with a fully funded Roth IRA by waking up to that one day. You're going to have to take steps when you're 30 that are going to get you there. And so that's the difference between a trying process and something that is an actual decision of being active versus passive action, right? Having intentional action versus having passive action. And when you're having passive action, this looks like you having the idea to do something, but then you still can't get it done, or you still can't do it because you've already kind of shown yourself or told yourself that you're not supposed to be doing anything towards it. And to me, as a person that's already gotten through this gap, it sounds like complete doesn't make sense. Like, I'm not going to say completely stupid, but it just doesn't make sense. It literally doesn't make sense. It's just going back to the same example. If you want to be a wealthy 36-year-old, you probably need to take steps before you're 36, right? To be able to call yourself that wealthy 36-year-old. And what people don't realize is that whatever they dream, whatever they desire is meant for them. But you can definitely miss your bus, and you can miss your option. You can not option, but your opportunity. You can miss your opportunity, and you can really fumble the bag. And that's not to say that was not the only thing you were supposed to, only thing that was going to come of your action, or the only thing that's going to come of, success in your life. And if you miss this thing, happening, then you never, ever, ever get the chance to do anything ever again, because you just never, ever get the chance to do anything ever. The whole point is that it's all planned out in divine action. But if divine action also and divine timing also includes you doing something towards getting the thing, then you will most definitely miss out on what you're trying to get by not doing the thing. And so this is where it's really important to develop discernment. And as a YouTuber that is extremely serious, as serious as I can get about the information I put out, I am not going to let this shake in y'all's face for that long, okay? Because that's loud. But as a YouTuber that takes what I say very seriously, as in not taking my content serious as who I am as a person, but taking the words, the vocabulary, the actual things that I'm saying extremely important, and taking them extremely serious, because I could have someone who's very dear to me, younger than me, in my family per se, watch these videos. And although I don't personally care what people think about me as a person, I wouldn't want someone who's younger than me, or someone who I want to, develop in their own ways, in their own life. I wouldn't want them to get the idea that it's okay to do something that I'm actually not trying to portray. So saying all that to say, I'm very careful with the wording that I use, and I'm very careful with the ideologies that I share, because it only takes one thing for you to see and for you to do because you think that's the right step for you. And I wouldn't want to share something that I am not actually doing. And I don't want to share something that actually would lead somebody into something that doesn't make sense. So that's all I kind of mean for that point. But I just wouldn't get myself to the point where I'm like putting out content just for the giggles, for just being, for the sake, that's a better word, like just putting things out for the sake of putting them out and saying things for the sake of saying them, when that's really just not how it goes. And I want to actually provide real life assistance for people who are going through things that I have either overcome or that I've already transmuted, or I understand how to help them in their specific situations. That's really what this channel is for, not only just for the fact that I really love to make content. It's also very important that people that watch my content can actually get something out of it, and they're not just watching a random person. So when I hear people talk about, oh, it's like trying action and this and that, and it's like you're hearing all these things about trying process and what it means to have like intuitive nudges and stuff like that, and you're not understanding that you are still a human who has to do human things and who has to enact in certain human ways to get what you want and what you're looking for in life. And it's not going to be a trying process in the way that you have to figure all that out on your own. It's a effortless process in the way that you surrender to what's going on around you. So instead of you, let's use for instance with a YouTube channel. We're watching this on YouTube. I'm a YouTuber. So this is what we're going to use it as an example. And I would probably assume a lot of you guys either want to be a YouTuber or want to be able to show up on camera very effortlessly, very confidently. You want to be able to talk to either people in your real life or people on and I say real life as in people in person, or you want to talk to people on the internet, or whatever you want to do as far as communication. You can be a person who wants to do that, and that's what I'm going to assume that that comes with wanting to be a YouTuber. So, for instance, you have an idea for some sort of video, and instead of just thinking that this idea is going to come to pass on its own, and then you're going to wake up from your nap and the video is going to be posted, right? Because in that instance, we would say, no, that's insane. If I don't get up and post the video, if I don't get up and press play, the video is never going to be recorded, right? So that's kind of the other side of that's definitely the other side of the trying processes, because you think the trying process is pressing the button to get the YouTube video started, when the actual trying process in that instance would look like spending 45 minutes writing out an entirely like mapped out script that you just keep going over. Like you finished the script 10 minutes ago, you outlined the points and the bullet points and all the things you need, right? For this video, but you continue to edit it and you continue to try to make it perfect because that's what you're supposed to do, because that's what you feel like you have to do. And you're not satisfied with the content that you're able to naturally kind of push out from your mind. You're like, no, it needs to be better. It needs to be more professional. It needs to be more this. It needs to be more that. It needs to be perfect. And what's going to happen is you're going to end up getting into the loop of trying process, because the trying process is going to show you very quickly that that you are going to be stuck in a loop. It's going to show you very quickly that that is what the trying process is, and you won't know what the trying process is unless it's explained to you by someone who's gone through it, or by someone who or unless you've done it yourself, unless you've gone through it yourself. And the trying process is just it really is one of those things that can scare you off from doing anything at all. You're like, a lot of people are like, okay, well, I don't want to try it all in this endeavor, this business, this desire, because if I try it all, I feel like I'll ruin it because then I'm forcing it because I'm not doing intuitive action. I'm forcing it. I'm being like really active with this decision. The beauty of it is that that's not actually trying process. The trying process is going over and beyond your intuitive action to try to make something work for you that you feel like isn't naturally for you. So if you don't feel like it's for you, you're going to continue to try to make it work. You're going to continue to try to make it something that is not. And that's exactly what's going to happen when you try to make something into um, when you're making it a trying process. So the other beautiful thing about it is that nothing is a trying process naturally. The only time it becomes a trying process is if you make it a trying process. So when you make it a trying process, all you have to do to get unraveled in that is like you understand that you can just do the opposite. So if you're currently trying to like overcomplicate your YouTube script, all you would do is just decide, okay, well, I'm not gonna overcomplicate the script anymore. I'm gonna just post the video and do what I feel is really right, even if for the next 2 months I don't have anybody watching or any comments at all, or any this or any that. And it's a really cool thing when you get comments on your channel because it shows people are communicating. They're seeing it. They're really enjoying the content that you have, and that is a really fun part about having a channel because it helps you to connect with people. But that's not the trying process. It's like saying that you want to have a YouTube channel, but replying to people is a trying, like in the comments, it's a trying process. And that you coming up with a video idea is a trying process. Starting a YouTube channel, like actually starting it by making an email and starting the channel is a trying process. And all these other things that aren't actually a trying process, they are just the active part of the desire that you want. So it's the same thing as saying, oh, I really, really, really want to own a home. But then you tell yourself that, oh, I don't want to try too hard. Like I want it to come to me. But you are telling yourself that you going to search for a home, or you going to contact a real estate a realtor or some type of um, agency for someone to even show you houses, right? You're saying that's a trying process. That's not a trying process. That's literally part of the desire. Now, if you feel like you're forcing yourself or overcomplicating it and you're spending 10 hours a day and you can't find, this specific realtor that you're looking for, the trying process might actually be that you are overcomplicating the actual process and that you may already know someone that knows a lot about houses and you need to go reach out to them, or you already know what you need to do in order to get this home and you already know what the like you may be farther in the process than you actually think, and that's what you need to go into. So it's less about, do I want to do red lipstick? I kind of don't. I kind of want to stay neutral, but it's kind of like just forcing yourself to go over and beyond in something. It's not actually the action. I mean, the action is gonna need to happen regardless. It's like you're waiting for, like, okay, for instance, you want to have a retirement fund so that you can feel so safe and secure while you're working, and you know that you're going to have something when you finish working so that you can live, or something like that, whatever you want to call it. Some retirement setup for yourself. That's like saying, oh, well, calling my company and seeing if we have a company match for my 401k is a trying process. So I'm just not going to do that. Okay, well, you're probably never going to end up doing a 401k because you can't even get yourself to make a phone call. And it's also just like you're showing the universe, you're showing God that you won't even invest your little bitty, itty bitty, tiny little sliver of time to even poke at the bear of interest, right? because you're feeling like it's too much work. Now tell me this. If you won't even take 10 minutes to go type on the internet and search up realtors in my city, realtors near me, or call up a friend and say, hey, I know you just bought a home, or your parents, or someone older than you, an elder, whatever. And you say, I know that you bought a home. I'm actually interested in this as well. How can I start? And how, tell me a little bit about the process because I actually really want to buy a home this year. And I just want to, begin saving for it and begin doing what I need to do to get the home. If you won't even do those little steps that actually put no skin in the game, do you understand that those things put no skin in the game? You actually lose nothing by, you actually lose absolutely nothing by inquiring about a few things. You don't lose anything by making the YouTube channel. You don't lose anything by did I curl my lashes? I don't even think so. But you don't lose anything from that. So it's like if you're interested in knowing more about the trying process, just that seem do the things that seem like they have no skin in the game. Like, okay, yeah, I may not have $10,000 to go put in this investment account so it can turn to 100,000 before tomorrow, right? But I do know how to set up an account and I don't have to do anything else with it. Okay, great. That's what I'm going to do. Or, I don't have a YouTube idea yet, but I know I want to make internet money based on the skill level of communication and imagination. So I'm going to go start this YouTube channel and I'm just going to make an email, start the channel, give it some random name that I can literally change later if I want to. And that's what I'm going to do. Or if you really want to start meal prepping or something like that, like go and something that doesn't put a lot of skin in the game. It's just going to your nearest grocery store and seeing if they have meal prep containers in stock and seeing like, okay, well, this is how much they normally cost and this is what they normally look like. And okay, cool, this is nice. Like doing small things like that is what actually gets you towards the action. Because once you understand more about the 3D realm of what you're trying to do in the 5D, it makes the 5D much easier. If you never even immerse yourself a little bit into what it takes to have a YouTube channel by just making the email or just making a random video or just doing something and just clicking around and just looking around it and seeing and acclimating yourself with the platform that you literally say you want to make $2 billion on and you want to have a huge following and make all these sales and do all this stuff, that doesn't make sense for you to say you want that and not even be able to go spend 5 minutes looking through the app and its settings and things like that. So when you're ready to make a video, you know exactly what to do, where to go. Because you can be like, oh, I want to go on live. I'm ready. And you click on it, but you're not verified yet. Because if you had did it 2 months ago when you first started the channel, you would have been already verified to go live. But because you thought, oh, I'm just going to do it when I'm ready to do it, and you didn't even take 5 seconds to say, okay, well, let me even check if I can even go live. Let me even check if there's a process to go through before that. And the universe and God is like, okay, you can't even take 10 minutes to go look at that? Yeah. And I'm supposed to trust you with 100,000 followers. I'm supposed to trust you with all these sales. I'm supposed to trust you with running a website. I'm supposed to trust you with being truthful to all these people that I'm going to put in your vicinity. I'm supposed to, send all these people to your platform so that you can do what? Like, are you even going to respond to people? Are you even going to continue making videos? Are you going to even take 5 seconds to script a video or write down some notes if you need to? Or are you going to say, oh, that's too much work, I'm not going to do that? And that's why some of the things that we want don't come to pass, because we're basically showing that we can't even be trusted with the 1% of it. We can't even be trusted with the bare bones, with the minimum, right? It's like if I keep saying I want a boyfriend, but I won't even go on a dating app, right? It's literally my hair flying around like the room. It's crazy. But it's like saying I want a boyfriend, but every single guy that comes up to me, I'm like, ew, no, thank you. Like, Or it's like every time I try to go on a dating app or I go out on a date or something like that, I'm like not even thinking of this person as being fit for me. I'm always seeing people. I'm never seeing myself even being able to get into a relationship and like, oh, this date's gonna go bad. Like, entering with that perspective. Or it's like meeting a guy, knowing what I'm looking for, lying about what I'm looking for, or not being clear on what I'm looking for. And then 2 months in, I'm like, oh, I don't think we're a good match. And then wasting 2 months of my time. Or if he asks me a question and I'm like, oh, well, this is me asking each other straight. But he asked me a question and I'm like, oh, like, and I'm just trying to create the most simple, like sweetest, like most socially acceptable answer, and then not understanding why I can't find the man. It's not because this is so cute, but it's not because I'm not supposed to have the man. It's like you won't even do what you need to do to get what you want. So this is also where it comes, like being able to let things go, especially with dating. It's like if you're meeting someone that you don't feel aligned with, a person that's unhealthy is gonna say, no, but I can make it work. But like, no, they do like 1% of it, and like, no, they'll do the other 99% of it later on. Like, it's cool, it's okay. And I think what's more important is to just be single and to stick it out and to say, I'm gonna wait. Like, I'm not going to get into anything that's not going to be of my best interest. And that is what is so important to me, at least at the moment, is that I know in the past I was definitely a person that was like, oh, well, I can make it work, blah, blah, blah. Granted, I am 23, so the youngest, I was way younger in those situations. And I personally wouldn't repeat those. But I'm gonna be saying the same thing when I'm 35. I'm like, oh my gosh, that guy I dated at 23. Like the guy I dated at 25. Like I'm still gonna be saying the same things because I'm gonna continue to make mistakes and grow. That's what evolution is. But I'm never going to know that I want something and that person speak up about it with the sadness that I'm going to lose whoever that I was supposed to be with. Or like, oh, this could be my husband and I'm gonna like he's gonna run away if I tell the truth about this thing. And it's just like I see a lot of people on the internet that take that stance and take whatever stance you want. That one got nothing to do with me. But what I think is so much more important is that I, at least, and the people that my content resonates with, is just really sticking to who you are as a person and having the balls to say no. Your discomfort in what I'm saying is not my business. And what I'm saying is my truth. And if you don't like my truth, then I guess we've come to a conclusion. And that's what's so beautiful about it, is because you actually waste less time when you are so open about who you are as a person. And you're like, okay, well, if you don't like it, guess what? It doesn't matter. And I was saying this to myself earlier, actually. I don't think this has much to do with the trying process, but I'm still going to mention it. Is that earlier I was having a conversation with someone and they asked me a question, and I'm like, I give my true answer because who do I have to prove to besides me, myself, God, right? And they're like, oh, well, just like, I don't really agree. Like, basically, I don't agree. Like, and your reservations with what I'm saying are not my problem. Your dislike, discomfort, and questions, concerns are not my problem to come and convince you. Now, if you have further questions for me, and you're like, why do you think that? Can we compromise on XYZ? Because I really, really, whatever, right? But if you're basically just hearing my answer, saying, oh, I don't agree with that, well, we've come to a conclusion, it seems, because there's 7 billion people on the earth, and I would rather just move on than continue to talk to someone who I know is not a good match, especially because everything is so like visual nowadays. It's like people are saying, oh, I'm not dating because of looks, but you literally have to look at the person to date them. So it's like you're not making sense. But if you're going to date somebody, Be honest. Don't just be like, oh, this person looks like my type. They look like they would fit my list of my love list. Or they look like they would fit the whatever because they look like it. So I'm gonna act a different way so that I don't let this person leave me and have this person let me down and have another failed relationship when the whole time you were assuming this person was supposed to be a certain way because of how they looked instead of actually answering the questions they're asking truthfully and seeing if they're actually a match for you. Do you understand what I'm saying? And when you can actually get into that part of your life where you're like, if I don't tell the truth, if I don't continue being who I am and I don't continue walking into the person who, or walk into, but I don't continue being the person who I know I'm supposed to be, even though some things don't seem to be aligning yet, if I don't continue doing that, I will miss my best when my opportunity comes. And that's a reference back to what I said earlier about just not following through on what you're supposed to do, following through on who you're supposed to be, following through on who you know you're stepping into. Because if you don't step into that person before your reality catches up to you, you're gonna not be able to fit into that reality and it's gonna fall apart and it's gonna dissolve. And so instead of you dissolving certain things because you want better, better things are gonna dissolve in front of you while you're living a life that you don't like. And it's just it doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. It's like, don't accept anything that you don't want to. And this is not for the weak minded, by the way. This is not for like people that are okay with living a half lived life, a half baked life. This is not for those people. And the reason why it's not for those people is you have to make very hard, very tough, very decision very hard decisions. You have to make very, very hard decisions on who you're going to be, and so that when that thing comes to you, that you can actually follow through with who you're supposed to be. Because imagine, right? You're getting the intuitive nudge to start a YouTube channel, and you're like, "Well, I'm not the YouTuber." You're being called to step into YouTube. You're being called to step into the YouTuber personality. So what do? You turn on the camera. You start making the videos. You start blah, 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 right? You do the basic action. And then if you stop before your reality catches up to you, then guess what? When that reality is supposed to hit you and it's supposed to all fall together, you will have missed your bus and you will have to go to some other opportunity or some other thing or just delay that process even more. When the beauty of it is just allowing yourself to surrender to the actual actions instead of making the actions work for you in your favor when you want to do them. Because at the end of the day, you're not even supposed to, but you're not supposed to be in control of anything. You are simply in control of your will. That's how I see it. You're in control of your will to actually do something. You're going to be intuitively nudged to do something, but at the end of the day, it's always your will that is going to allow you to do something or to not do something. And so, if you want your will to be done, you must do the things it takes to have that will even start to roll and start to move and start getting momentum in that. And you don't know when that thing is going to hit you. You don't know when that spark is going to catch on fire. But that's not the point. It's not the point of knowing, because the journey is the fun part. It's stepping into it is the fun part, because the actual getting the thing is like the 1 second split second. It's like the split second event that happens right before you get another desire. And so if you can actually focus on the journey of stepping into that thing and stop thinking that the trying process is what you're going through, and it's really just simple actions that show that you would be able to hold what you need to do. It's like, if you want to be an options trader, um yeah, but if you want to be in an options trader and you're telling yourself that, oh, like the best time to go into the market would be the best time to go into the market would be 9:30 a.m. EST or 8:30, I think, for Central or whatever I don't even know, but it opens 8:30 for some people in certain time zones. But if you know that the best time to get in is when the market first opens, and you're like, well, if I like try to wake up for 9:30, then like that's a trying process, and I'm like, I'm working too hard to try to like that doesn't make sense. It opens at 9:30, so get up for 9:30. If you want to be a YouTuber, you make YouTube videos. Get on YouTube and make the YouTube videos. If you want to be a coach, create a coaching program and start talking about it. If you want to be a nutritionist, start learning more about nutrition and share what you do. Like that's the whole point. And it's like share with you what you do, because when you become the YouTuber, what do you think is going to happen when you have 200,000 subscribers and you're making 20K a month and you're sitting making internet money with your camera and your computer, your 200 buck computer, right? What do you think is going to happen when you have all those people commenting on your page, you have this, you have that, you have more controversy even going on? What do you think is going to happen? Okay, the most important thing is like, okay, well, if I was a YouTuber, what would be my life? Probably making YouTube videos. So what should you be doing? This goes back to that other video I made. I don't remember what it was called, but it was about how to become the reciprocal of the thing you want, like how to actually get the thing you want. And this goes right back into that. It's like it's yeah, some of the things we do are like trying, like going into the trying process, but most of the things that you do are not trying process. The trying process is like forceful, like trying to do stuff, like making it very like making it very obvious that those things are not for us. We're doing it with the mindset that those things are not for us. If we think something is for us, it'll never feel forced. And so if we are like, I want to start a YouTube channel, but you feel forced to go make the YouTube channel, then you're reinforcing that idea that it's not meant for you. And that's probably why you haven't started the channel. So it's more of the inner work behind that. And the last thing that I wrote down in my notes, I'm going to like mention here is that Myron Golden says that your time is going to come. Either you're ready for that time or you're not. And like if you're not ready for that time, you're going to be exposed. But if you're ready when your time comes, I forgot what else he says, but like essentially it's a word that that encapsulates that you are actually going to be able to be empowered by the thing that's happening to you, as like this is the life I'm supposed to live. And that alone is what is going to make it happen, is by knowing that my time is going to come and I get to do all these fun things in the in-between meantime. And then actually when people come to my page or come to my business or whatever, they already have some information to chew on. It makes them want to go do whatever, watch what other videos or go purchase products or get to know me or whichever, right? Subscribe, like, and comment. But it also I've already been reinforced for so long during the process of how to make a YouTube channel, how to make certain videos, how to show up on camera, actually being confident. How do I whatever? And when you're in the process of stepping into that person, your audience is also watching you step into that person, right? So this video is being made October 2024. If I am 1 year from now and I'm so completely different, and I know I will be because I'm completely different than I was a month ago. And it's every single month I become like completely different, like every single month. So I know that in 12 more cycles of that, 12 more times changing, 12x what I am right now, there's going to be hundreds of thousands of people who are watching, who are tuned in. And that is what I'm making videos for. I'm not making videos for the times where I'm sitting by myself or this or that. I'm literally making content because I know what's coming. And this video is going to stand alone, and it's going to be the thing that is an example for everyone else who's trying to step into that same person. They're going to see what it looks like to go through that transformation. And you're going to trust me as a person who can help you get there because you know that I've done it myself.